So recently the OnePlus Nord released and there is so much hype around it. And why not? It's a mid-range phone from OnePlus. And if you're thinking of buying it, you should watch this video. I'm going to tell you every reason why you should buy or why you should not buy the OnePlus Nord. Do stick around till the end. Hello guys, welcome to the channel. You're watching Tecnicos and today we're going to talk about the OnePlus Nord, the latest mid-range phone from OnePlus. So the OnePlus has changed a lot in the past year, from being the flagship killers to being the flagship themselves. There was only one thing that stood out for OnePlus, and that was speed. Be it the display, the processor, the charging, or the increase in price. OnePlus was never known as the best, like the best gaming phone or the best camera, the most long lasting, the best battery, the best display, or even the best design. It was the overall experience that it gave in a much cheaper price from the flagships that made it special, and the Oxygen OS, the stock Android experience, that was what made it special. So speed was one of the main things of OnePlus, and guess what they skipped out on in Nord? Speed, obviously. Let's take a look at the spec sheet of OnePlus Nord. It comes with a 6.4-inch 90Hz refresh rate, 1080p, that means full HD AMOLED display. In terms of processor, it comes with a Snapdragon 765G, which is a 5G processor. Now, 765 is a mid-range processor. It's not the 800 series. It's a mid-range processor, and it's kind of equivalent to the 840 or 845 Snapdragon. It comes with 6 to 12 GB of LPDDR4 RAM and 64 GB to 256 GB of UFS 2.1 storage. In terms of camera, it has a quad cam setup on the rear side, and not exactly all 4 cameras, but the main sensor is the 48 megapixel Sony sensor, and it's the same sensor which was used in OnePlus 8, so that's a good thing. And it has an 8 megapixel ultra wide lens and 2 megapixel macro and a 5 megapixel depth sensor. Now on the front side, it has 2 cameras. The primary sensor is 32 megapixel and it has an ultra wide sensor also in the front, and which is 8 megapixel, a 4100 milliamp hour battery, and a 30 watt fast charger, which is the trademark OnePlus charger. And if you're liking this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share it with your friends, and like this video. Phone does not excel in any particular area, and that is the reason why I cannot recommend it to people who have specific demands. Like the camera. The camera is from the OnePlus 8. The main sensor is from OnePlus 8, but it's the same sensor which was used in OnePlus 7. So there are better options in camera. And even the processor is decent, but there are better options. And the performance, well, obviously with a decent processor you get a decent performance, but there are other better options. Even in battery and design, there are much better options available. The fact that it has 90Hz refresh rate on an AMOLED display, but with a mid-range processor, it does not give you that much of a better experience that you get in other OnePlus devices which have a better processor. Because a better processor with a higher refresh rate makes it smoother and much better than a 90Hz refresh rate with a mid-range processor. Also, they're using the USB 2.0 in their charging port. So that means whenever you're going to transfer your data from your mobile to a laptop or a computer, it's going to be transferred at a slower rate, because obviously it's an older generation of USB. It's USB 2.0. Also, no headphone jack in a mid-range phone. Yes, what do you expect from us? What do you expect? That we'll buy a 27,000. Also, the primary camera on the back side can record 4K in 30 FPS. But the front cam can record 4K with 60 FPS. What is happening here? So why is it that there is so much of a hype for this phone if it's not an excellent phone or it's a good phone in any one of these criterias? Well, it's not the marketing strategy. Well, I mean, of course it is, but there are a lot of other things that are involved in this. Well, there is a certain expectation from OnePlus for delivering a great experience and a smoother experience, which they have delivered in the past. And as a package, OnePlus Nord gives you all the things that you need and nothing more. It has everything. It has a good, or above average decent camera with a good display, a 90 Hz AMOLED display, a good design, glass back, glass front, and a fast charging. All these things concluded as a package. There is no other phone that you can find like this. If you're not looking for a particular phone, there are phones which have better camera, better battery, better design, or better processor, but combined there is nothing. Either you'll find a good camera phone with a lower end processor, or you'll find a good processor with a lower end camera. So if you're looking for a phone which has a good camera, or a good performance, or a good battery life, or a good design, I would not recommend the Nord to you. But if you're looking for a phone which as a complete gives you a good experience, OnePlus Nord is going to be good for you. It's obviously a good phone, but it does not excel in one particular area, and that is why I cannot recommend it enough to you. I recently made a review on OnePlus 7T, so it'll be great if you could check that out in the I button.